Hello everyone, welcome back to Study Tips for IGCSE Mathematics. Today's topic is related to histogram and frequency distribution diagram. In this chapter, you will learn how to construct and use histogram with equal interval, construct and use histogram with unequal interval, draw cumulative frequency tables, and use tables to construct cumulative frequency diagram. Without further delay, let's begin. Histogram. Histogram is a specialized graph that looks a lot like a bar chart, but is normally used to show the distribution of continuous or group data. Look at the histogram showing the ages of people visiting a gym. Notice that the horizontal scale is continuous and each column is drawn above a particular class interval. And the frequency of the data is shown by the area of the bars. There are no spaces between the bars on the graph because the horizontal scale is continuous. This is how the histogram graph look like. And this graph is actually to tabulate the ages of people visiting gym. From here, you can see that age 5 is about 1 frequency, age 35 is about 9 frequency, and age 40 is about 8 frequency, and 55 is about 2 frequency. These 55 ages of people visiting are twice. We have 2 frequency. Okay, let's look at the work example. Joanne did an experiment in her class to see what mass of rising in grams the student could hold in one hand. Here are her results: 18, 23, 25, 18, 24, 26, 22, 25, 27, 22, 25, 30, 22, 25, 30, 22, 25, 31, 23, 25, 35. So question A, using the class interval 16 till 20, 21 till 25, 26 till 30, and 31 till 35, draw a group frequency table. So you have mass of rising in 4 kind of groups or class interval. You have between 16 to 20. If you count here, you can see mass of rising between 16 to 20. You have how many? You have about 3. So 16 to 20. So you have 1, you have 2, you have 3. So 3. Between 21 to 25. Okay, 21 to 25. Okay, you have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So the answer is 14. And the range mass of rising between 26 to 30 interval, class interval, you have 5, and 31 to 35, you have 2. So you have already complete and you already answer for question A. What is the model class? The mode of this data. Okay, the model class, it is actually not possible to find the mode of group data because you do not have the individual values within each group. Instead, you will find the class interval that has the greatest frequency. So if you can see here, the ones or the group or the class interval that have the greatest frequency is the model 21-25. They call model class. It's actually, this is already taught you in the chapter 12 about model class. Okay, next we have cumulative frequency tables. What is a cumulative frequency? Cumulative frequency is really just a running total of the score or result, the frequency in each group. The cumulative frequency gives the number of results which are less than equal to a particular class boundary. So the class show how many students got a particular marks out of 10. So the frequency of each result as well as the cumulative frequency. Each entry in the cumulative frequency column is calculated by adding the frequency of the current class to the previous cumulative frequency. If you look at this example, you have a column of score out of 10, which is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the number of frequency you have 4, 5, 3, 3, 5, 7, 2, 1. And the total of the frequency is 30. If you want to find cumulative frequency, if let's say the first score out of 10, 3, how do you get 4? Because the first 4 is based on the frequency, the first frequency 4. And the next score, which is 4, you have to look at the next frequency for 4 that's belong to 4. How to get the cumulative frequency if 4 plus 5, you get 9. 9 plus 3, you get 12. 12 plus 3, you get 15. 15 plus 5 equals to 20. 20 plus 7 equals to 27. 27 plus 2, it becomes 29. 29 plus 1 equals to 30. This is how entry or the value, you want to have a value for cumulative frequency. As per statement here, each entry in the cumulative frequency column is calculated by adding the frequency of the current class, okay, adding frequency of the current class to the previous cumulative frequency. So as I already explained just now. Okay, let's look another work example. Given the work example here, the height of plants were measured during an experiment. The results are summarized in the table. You have the height of the plant on the left hand side, where you have 0, the height, 0, less than height, less than and equal to 5. You have about 20 frequency. And then this is the total of frequency is 250. So the question is, you have to draw up a cumulative frequency table for this distribution. So what you have to do is you just add another column which is for cumulative frequency. So as I already taught you just now, frequency, to calculate the cumulative frequency is the first frequency add up with the second line of frequency. Okay, you might get 20 plus 40, you get 60. 60 plus 60 is become 120. 120 plus 80 is become 200. 200 plus 50 is become 250. And then this is the first table where it asks you to plot or draw up a cumulative frequency table. The second question is, determine which class interval contains the median height. Okay. So, to get the median height, okay, the total of the frequency is 250 plants. So given here, so the median height must be the mean of the height of the 12, 125 and 126 flowers. The flowers of the plant. That means 250 divided by 2, you might get 125 and 126 in between. So if you look at the cumulative frequency, you can see that this value falls into the fourth height class, which is the fourth height class. 125 and 126 are both greater than 120. Right. So you might get in between 120 but less than 200. So it's in between. The answer is in between. Number third and number fourth. This is the answer for question B. Okay, let's look the next word example where in this question, aside from you have tabulate the cumulative frequency, you also have a question whereby you have to draw or construct a graph, okay, based on the cumulative frequency. Okay, in this example, it gives you the question. So the question is actually, the examination marks of 300 students are summarized in the table. Okay, this is the marks of 300 students summarized in the table. And the question, the first question is, they ask you to draw a cumulative frequency table. As I already taught you, so you already have two columns here. You just add in one additional column for cumulative frequency. To get the value of cumulative frequency using the same formula as I taught you previously, okay, and then you get the value of cumulative frequency. And then how to plot the graph? So from here, you tabulate the marks against cumulative frequency. So you might plot and you get about this type of graph. Okay, so when you have a value of marks 10, so cumulative frequency is 3. And when you have mark 20, the cumulative frequency is about 10. Okay, when you have a cumulative marks about 30, the cumulative frequency is about 23. The next question is calculate and estimate for the median marks. Okay, the median is the median value for continuous data. Okay, the median value can be founded by dividing the total frequency by 2. Okay, as you know that the total frequency is 300. So when the value of 300, the median you have to divide by 2. You get the value of 150. So 150, so the median marks is the 150 result. So cumulative frequency is 150. So when you draw a graph initially, and then when you mark at 150 at cumulative frequency at y-axis, so the line will be touched at here. So when you bring the cursor or the line down, and you can see that it's actually the median mark is at 58 at the x-axis. So this is the answer for the question C. Okay, let's look at this, the next question. This is a past examination questions where it's actually it asks you to plot the table, to plot the graph, and also to complete the frequency table for the price of the cars. Okay, so it's given the table below, show the age and the price of 20 used car in a showroom. Okay, so you have age for age of the car and the price of the car. Okay, from here you can see that the car which is already 6 years used, so the value is about 1,800. And then you have the car, some of the car, the car where the age is only 1 year, but the value is about 5,600. But you also have a car whereby age 1 year, but the value is about 6,500. And then they ask you to complete the frequency table for the price of X of the car. They ask you to find the frequency of the price between 0 less than and equal to X and X less than 2,000. So you have to complete this table. And after that, you have to plot the graph whereby price over frequency. So this is the past paper question, IGCSE Mathematics in year 2015. Okay, so this is how it's come out in the question. So it's very easy. So you have a price over here and you have a frequency. So this is how it look like. So when you find a frequency, you have a price of the car, which is a range 0 and less than and equal to X and less than 2000. You have about 3 cars. And when the car price is about 2000, less than and equal to X and less than 4000, you have about 5. And when the car 4000, less than and equal than X and less than 6000, you have about 6 car. And when the car is 6000, less than and equal to X and less than 8000, the price of the car, you have about 4 car. And finally, when the car price is 8000, less than and equals to X and less than 10,000, you have about 2 cars. From here, you plot the graph. So this is actually the histogram graph. So it asks you to draw a histogram to show the information. So this is how it look like. So it's a very simple, and this is the past paper answer for 2015. So with that, I would like to end this presentation. Thank you very much.